got a bunch of interesting Nintendo Switch 2 news to talk about, including brand new Joy-Con colors, a huge new game coming, and a brand new update, which seems to be on the horizon. Anyways, with so much more, let's get straight into it. Okay, so Nintendo has announced that there will be more Joy-Con colors, which seems to be really awesome. You have the blue and the purple, which is really cool, but the unfortunate side of it is that it's still black on the outside. And if you weren't a fan of the Nintendo Switch 2's color, which is black on the outside and color on the inside, well, you might not be such a fan of this. But however, this is the colors right here. I think it looks pretty good. It gives your Nintendo Switch 2 that bit of customization. And speaking of customization, it looks like there will be an update at some point in the future which will lead to more customization for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, judging off of this leak right here, it seems like Nintendo is planning something to do with customizations, features, and other things. Now, these features could include, finally, themes. Now, themes are definitely a very interesting thing, and we obviously seen Nintendo release some themes over the Christmas season. If you weren't aware, you were able to go inside the Nintendo Switch Online and see your little Christmassy theme, your Christmassy vibe. It was a very interesting thing, and maybe Nintendo will be testing something out for this. One thing that I found really interesting was music, or home menu music, or different customization. You know how your Nintendo Switch 2 does a little click, 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 and a clack? Well, it looks like at some point you will be able to change that. So instead of doing click, 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 you will be able to change it to, let's just say you wanted bells, or maybe you wanted a car to go vroom vroom every time you move it. But I don't know if this is necessarily going to happen, but this is a leak that seemed really interesting, and it's just something that was worth noting. Now, moving over to a brand new game. It seems like Mario Tennis Aces, or Mario Tennis, the brand new one, it seems like it's a really interesting game. Now, Nintendo did officially reveal a sort of trailer for this game. The gameplay looks smooth. The gameplay looks good. It looks like a very fresh experience for a tennis game. If you wanted to play a tennis game kind of not quite like this one, well, Mario Tennis Fever might be the game for you. You're able to fight boss fights. You're able to just do a whole bunch of different things. You have different customizations. You have different tennis rackets that do different powers. And Amiibo actually work on this. So it leads you to believe, is there going to be actual Amiibos for this game? Because you are able to use all of the current Amiibos, the Mario, Bowser, Peach, Daisy, whatever the case may be, you can use all of those Amiibos. So overall, that is really, really interesting. One other story that I wanted to dive straight into is Nintendo Switch 2 sales records. Now, this might not be a thing to be concerned about. If you've seen on the internet lately, you've seen probably Nintendo Switch 2 sales, is not looking good. But usually I would say this tends to happen when there's a massive crisis on RAM and pretty much prices and not really too many games. If you look at the Nintendo Switch 2, sure there was some games, but it's not necessarily a game that fit everyone. Like if you wanted to play a Legend of Zelda game, well, you sort of got that, but it wasn't really your big Legend of Zelda game. It was a little Hyrule Warriors game. If you wanted to play Metroid, well then not everyone's a fan of Metroid, unfortunately. See, that's most likely why no one really wants to pick up a Switch right now, or it's because the prices of games are ridiculous right now, and also the system itself is pretty bad, but it seems like that system is going to get even higher up. If you checked out the price of RAM, if you checked out the price of computer parts, power supplies, heck, even graphics card, the RTX 5090 is going to be $5,000, which is almost double than MSRP. The point is, the Nintendo Switch 2 might go up in price, and that might be why these sales numbers are actually down, or it could be the games. But however, it looks like in 2026, this is going to fix that issue, because it seems like we are going to be getting a bunch of different games. Like the big first-party games, usually in the second year of Nintendo Switch, or if you want to call it the first year and a half, we see pretty big games. If you look from 2017 to 2018, we had a pretty massive game in that year. It pretty much goes saying for pretty much every Nintendo console, the second year around has something big game. so maybe this will be resolved in the future sometime soon. Now, if you were excited for any of these new games to be happening, there seems like there's going to be a Nintendo Direct either this month or February. Now, we know that most likely it's going to be in February, but there's this one leak that I wanted to take a look at. Now, usually if you've been on the Nintendo app or the Nintendo Music app, you'll see that they release songs every about week. Because usually they don't skip a week of releasing music unless it's some sort of holiday. And if you looked around recently, it's not really a holiday unless it's the holiday of goodbye to actual owning your stuff. Unless you want AI to completely get rid of that. But however, the dark side has not fully turned on Nintendo yet. There still is hope for something brand new to happen. And well, something new indeed. Now, Nintendo, remember the Nintendo from the Zelda remake sort of leak? Well, it seems like they're posting Xenoblade. That's it, just Xenoblade. So potentially we could take this with a grain of salt, but maybe we are going to be seeing some sort of Xenoblade game, a brand new game in fact, because I'm probably going to butcher this so hard because I never played a Xenoblade game before, but let's just say it's an open world because Nintendo likes to do open world games. So maybe that's something that's going to happen. Just look at that. Maybe in the upcoming Nintendo Direct, we are going to be seeing something to do with Xenoblade. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Maybe if we actually do get Xenoblade, Nintendo is the biggest, the best leaker out there. Zelda remake coming soon. But also, what I wanted to take a look at is, it looks like Hitachi, I'm probably saying that wrong once again, it looks like they're working on a voice recognition software for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, this would be really interesting. I know that the Xbox had that. You were able to sit down on the couch and say, Xbox, turn on. And it turned on by itself. So maybe the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to utilize something like this. Now, it would be pretty handy in some situations if you just wanted to sit down and say turn on to this game, but however it may work, it would be great, especially for those of you who have troubles either using the Joy-Con or just whatever the case may be. Well, then this might be a really good solution to that, and maybe it's a good thing that this is getting worked on. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is the Hulu app getting discontinued for the Nintendo Switch. Now, first off, I didn't even know that the Nintendo Switch had the Hulu app. And second off, interesting. Does this mean that Disney Plus is coming? Now, we know that Hulu is getting integrated into Disney Plus at some point. So does this mean that we are going to be seeing Disney Plus on Switch 2? Because if you haven't realized that, Nintendo doesn't seem to want to add any sort of multimedia. We haven't seen Disney Plus. We haven't seen good old Netflix like we saw on the Wii. We haven't seen half the streaming service, not even Spotify on Switch 2. So does this lead you to believe that we aren't going to be seeing this, or this isn't a massive priority for Nintendo? They're just out there making $120 games? Who knows? It's definitely a very interesting thing. It's something that you really gotta think to yourself, what in the world is going on here, Nintendo? So I know it's been a pretty long video, but I wanted to mention on something real quick. The new Pokemon game seems to have a new poster, or some fan-made poster, which seems to be really, really interesting and exciting. So as you take a look right here, you got Pokemon Winds and Waves. Now we know that this is going to be releasing later on in 2026, which is really cool. So we have Region, which is Gaia Islands. This was the official code name for the Pokemon games, which is really cool. We got a wind thing and a wave thing, so that's really cool. Anyways, just take a look at that and let me know what you think about all of this in the comments section down below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you're excited for all of this Nintendo news, or not so excited for any Nintendo news. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and see you in the next one.